everyone, and welcome to an all-new series which I'm entitling Gotham Talks. Now, on Gotham Talks, we talk about the latest new episode of Gotham, which premieres every Monday on Fox Television. I'm going to try and get these videos up as fast as possible after each Gotham episode Monday. Just giving you my thoughts on how I like the episode, what I liked about it, and such. This will be spoiler heavy, so if you guys have not seen the episode, make sure you do not watch it and watch the show first, and then come back and hear and see what I thought about it. As you can see, I built this awesome display of Gotham. It's a framed poster with shelving attached to it, housing my Gotham pop figures. Now, I'm missing two, as you can see. I have almost everybody except Fish Mooney and Oswald Cobblepot. I do have them packaged and sealed over here also. As you can see, I'm not in the studio. This is my own private collection area. And you guys know how much I love Gotham, how much I love Batman in general, and DC Comics. So this show was a no-brainer. So this is a new series that I'm putting together. Every Monday, I'm going to hopefully have it up for you guys. So please don't hold me to it. I do have lots of stuff, and I do have my own job to go to. So this is just a fun thing. And I'm going to try and get it up as fast as possible for you guys. So, if you haven't seen up to Season 3, Episode 7, make sure, like I said, you guys turn it off, go and watch the episode, come back. So, like I said, we're on Episode 7, The Red Queen, and last episode we left off with Jim Gordon having to choose between who he wanted to live and who he wanted to die, as Mad Hatter had both Valerie Vale and Leslie Tompkins kidnapped, making Jim choose. And unfortunately, he did choose Leslie Tompkins instead of his newest girlfriend, and Mad Hatter shoots her. Now, we left off in the hospital, basically. So now, Valerie Vale is fine, so she's back. She's still in the hospital recovering, but she is upset and kind of depressed because Jim Gordon chose Leslie Thompson's name to save her, confusing Mad Hatter, and he does end up shooting Valerie Vale, and she knows that she was a decoy. The one thing I really love about this episode, and it's just for such a small part, but the one thing I really do love about this episode is this show is getting the love story between Selina Kyle and Bruce so perfectly to the comic book. And just how they are in general in the comics. And I really love how they're showcasing their affection for each other. The best thing, too, is that the actors playing the two of them have grown so immensely compared to the first season. And for me, I find that they are going to lead up to Bruce going away, training, and then coming back later on as being Batman. I've always had this idea that maybe Gotham is the new background story to the new Batman movie, which would make a lot of sense because a lot of stuff is kind of clicking to the newest Batman movie, because the newest Batman movie is pretty much a retelling of The Dark Knight Returns, where Jason gets killed and Batman is out there. So for me, instead of having an origin story of the new Batman movie, it would make sense to have it spin off from Gotham, but you never know. It's the extended universe and the TV universe. So, yeah, let's just get back to it. But that is my favorite part. The two of them are probably my favorite part of the show. And of course, you have to have Batman, Bruce Wayne, and Selina Kyle is just awesome. So, yeah, that part is my favorite scene. But it's just a very short scene. They don't really have much to do in this episode. But we get back to Jim Gordon gets dosed with poison called the Red Queen that Mad Hatter hits him with, which just sends him off into his own to fight his inner demons, basically. And you see that he still thinks about Barbara, which of course us in the comics knows that he goes with Barbara. He marries her, has two children. He has a boy, and he has Barbara Gordon. So eventually, I can see that they are going to get back together. Like I said, it happens in the comics, so you know. This is a comic book show, so you do know that they probably will end up back together again. But Jim Gordon does end up escaping it. He gets saved by Leslie Tompkins' fiance, Mario, which of course is Don Falcone's son, and their hatred for each other. You can tell that Mario knows that Jim Gordon still has feelings for Leslie Tompkins. So I think their thing is going to escalate and maybe end up maybe Mario being killed. I can see that happening, or getting his father to go and attack Jim Gordon somehow. We do finally, thank God, see Jim Gordon go back to being a detective. He's back on the force. As much as I love the bounty hunter thing, it just doesn't. It's not the same unless Jim Gordon is back into the precinct, and his relationship with Harvey Dent has changed. Whether they're still going to be friends, or if they're going to have a little tension after the last scene, because Jim Gordon still wanted to help, but he is not a member of the police department, so Commissioner Barnes does throw him out, and you see that confrontation with Harvey Bullock. And I really like Bullock. Bullock has probably become one of my favorite characters. I hated him in the Batman animated TV series, but for some reason in Gotham, they've made every character better. There's only one character that I can say I don't care for, but they've probably made every character that I never cared about better. We do have this weird relationship going on with Oswald Cobblepot and Edward Nygma. It doesn't really bother me in a way, but let's just say that in the comic books, you really don't know if Oswald is interested in men or women. It doesn't really get shown. You never see him with a girlfriend, so I can see why they did it, but whether if it's just actual romance relationship between them that he's feeling for Edward, or if it's like a brotherly love kind of thing, we'll have to wait to see. Edward Nygma does end up finding another girl who looks exactly like Kringle that he killed, which I think for some reason has to do with the Court of Owls. We have a doppelganger of Bruce, so it's not shocking that we might have a doppelganger of her. Whether that's true or not, we'll have to wait to see it. But the Court of Owls do make an appearance on this episode. You see them at the dinner get-together where Penguin is, which Mad Hatter does go and interrupt. But the Court of Owls is there. We do see one major scene which I think kind of shocked a lot of people. It shocked me because I know Jim Gordon's storyline, but I don't know much of his background, besides him being in the military and all that. But it seems that his father is actually part of the Court of Owls, which you do see at the very end before the credits roll. So that's another huge story that it's going to have to be tied in somehow. We still don't know what happened with the Bruce doppelganger. We know that the Court of Owls does have him. Now Oswald is kind of shocked and wondering who that lady is and what's going on. So that's another. He's going to be wished upon it, since they are the oldest family, the Waynes, the Oswalds, and the Waynes, the Cobblepots, and the Court of Owls. So that whole storyline is going to tie in, I think, eventually at the end of the season. The one thing I was really upset about this episode is that we don't really see much, and I pointed it out already, we don't see much of Bruce or Alfred, which I can see it has to be more focused on Jim Gordon's storyline, but I would be really nice to see more of Bruce and Selina. Yeah, the episode ends off kind of weird. Like I said, that cliffhanger hangs at the end. We don't know if Jim Gordon is going to go back to Valerie Vale. She made it very clear she does not want to see him anymore. We have Mad Hatter finally catched, and the one thing too that there's another storyline going on is Barnes is still infected with Alice's blood, and you can see that he's going nuts every so often. Eventually he will snap, I think, and it's going to happen very soon, because every little time he gets upset, it sets it off. And I think that some of the, especially Bullock, he sees it, I think. So that is pretty much what happened on last night's episode. Um, it was a pretty decent episode. Like I said, a lot of things that I wish they had more of and didn't have. But this series is still amazing, and I still gave this show high praise. Um, for those who haven't seen an episode since season one, I highly suggest you do because, like I said, it's gotten so much better since season one. We have more characters that are ripped out of the comics. The storyline is starting to merge together compared to when it was first spaced out. Um, but yeah, those are my current points of what I liked about the season. So every Monday, like I said, be back. We're going to do another one of these. But so far, I'm going to give this episode an 8.2. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't my favorite either. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe more for more awesome videos. And like I said, every Monday, Gotham Talks will be up so you guys can watch my thoughts and let me know in the comments what you thought about the episode. Was it as good as you wanted it to be? Do you wish there was more Bruce and Selena? Just let me know. Thanks, guys.